All right, so we're doing a garden video. I'm starting at the back gate to show you a cat in action. Ooh, and she's off. So here's like the cucumber garden, and they're kind of growing a little bit, so they'll be needing some strings soon. This rose I had to tie up because it's enormous. And there's a couple flowers on it, but I don't know. Maybe it just got really leggy and isn't doing a flowering thing. There are these ones here, and they are really red, like fire engine red. It's kind of interesting. Let me see if I can get it more in focus. Boy, my camera is just really being a pain in the arse. Don't know. I guess that's how it goes sometimes. These roses. Okay. And these tomatoes are getting a little bit bigger, so that's fun. Got some, I guess that's kale, or maybe it's a turnip getting munched on, so that's nice. I learned that from Portia, that if your garden's not being eaten, it's not really part of the ecosystem, and so plant more than you need so that, bugs can eat what they need, and butterflies and whatever, moths and stuff, and then everyone's happy. So these pots just got planted, so that's nice. And here's this round, and I think this is like a zucchini that's kind of random, not sure how that got there. And then the thyme seeds are starting to come in. Little small. If you can see the little green stuff. And they're smaller than like a pine needle, because you'll see all the little pine needles around for scale. But that's nice that the thyme seeds are starting to grow. Sadie's running around. Oh, and this lamb's ear thing, starting to grow flowers. So that's cool. Back of this berm. And I got the scoop on the snapdragons, so I planted 2 of the yellow ones in this berm, and then everything else was just what came up from when they go to seed. And so if you see here, like all of those are going to be like little snapdragons, so I might have to thin some of them out. And there's some strawberries coming in. So I just passed it, but there's a little strawberry. And I just wanted to get this video today because the roses are almost at the place where you have to deadhead them, and then they'll come in again. We'll get like a second bloom in like 2 months. Got some flowers as tall as me now. The lilies are as tall as me. But I just wanted to have a last kind of hurrah with the roses. And there are 2 lilies. I don't know if you spy a cat right there. Oh, are we going to get an action shot of you? I was just talking about that. So this is Sadie rolling in the dirt. And so a lot of times if my house is actually, thank you, Sadie. Thank you for that. Yeah. If my house is actually really, I don't know if you can see. Hey, do you want to stop? No, you want to just go inside, make sure you get all that shit inside? Sweet. Yeah, so that's fun. Okay. But the first lilies are coming up. These ones here, so that's fun. And then the story with these pots, and why I thought that the snapdragons over on the berm came from here, was that there were these snapdragons in the pots last year, and they blew over and planted themselves underneath the bush. We got like our little turkey seed kales going on. And then I found out some interesting backstory from some other stuff. Sadie's behind me. So these red ones here actually came from that neighbor. I don't know if you can see the red in the distance right there. So a squirrel ate some of those things and brought it over here, or the wind brought it over here. So that's how I got these red dudes. And there's a couple things in the yard that weren't mine. Oh, that's right. So then they also have the original milkweed. So if you look, let's see, if you can see the stop sign and you see the tall things underneath the stop sign, those are milkweeds. And then you come back over into my yard, and here are my milkweed. And they just started growing maybe, I don't know if last year was the first year. They're either 2 or 3 years that they've been here. I don't remember exactly right now. But mine are really tall. Everyone else's on the block are like knee to waist height, and these are like chin height on me. So I don't know if they really like pine trees. Maybe that's a certain pH or something. But yeah, so they're starting to bloom, and the bees really, 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 really like milkweed a lot. So this will be like the bee nightclub. They're just all over the place, which is really great. And they smell really good. But yeah, the tallest one probably comes up to my chin. And then here we have a cat that I guess ran off some of the dirt, which is nice. And let's just do a scan from this side. So those spots are kind of coming in nicely. This is pretty, this color. Well, maybe you can't see it from here. I'm gonna have to go around because of the sun. So it's just really pretty colors, the purples, and then the reds, and then there's like a magenta kind of like behind. So yeah, there you go. It's just a fun color combination. And we have some dill and cilantro. And we have Sadie because, of course, there's a video. And so she's got to be in it. And these are nice. So these are the hanging geraniums, and they're hanging. So that's fun. Okay, a little milkweed action. And I think what I'll do, I guess I'll just go around front. Our little sign about being nice about July 4th. Because some people, like, they sell fireworks just on these little stands, on the side of the road and whatever. And man, last year was just nuts. People were setting things off, and there was like shit all over my yard, and I don't know, it just seems really sketchy. Never mind the sounds and the drama, but it's like, Colorado's fairly flammable, and I don't know how I feel about, sparking, firing shit landing all over the yard. Okay, so these are roses that came from the St. Francis garden, because they're like this little small, like flat ones, and I need to start deadheading everybody and cutting things down. And so one thing about roses that I learned from, I think it's someone called the Tattooed Gardener, and they're on either Facebook or Instagram, is that when you're cutting the roses, you want to cut down to a 5-leaf pattern. So if you see that there's 5 leaves right here, you would cut this down to there. Let me get an example of not 5 leaves. So an example of not 5 leaves would be right there. If you cut down to 5 leaves, they'll usually bloom again. And I've actually gotten roses to bloom 3 times in a season. So today on the project is to make sure we feature Sadie. Up, digging in the strawberries. And to deadhead some roses. And yeah, the ice plant is still asleep. And then this little dude is a really delicate bell kind of flower. It almost is like brown and cream. And then I just found out yesterday that it comes from this neighbor. And so if I can get, I can't really see because the sun's like right in my camera. But there's some red that you'll see, those are roses. And then to the left of that, you'll see a bunch of kind of white stuff. And then those are these. They're the same thing. So same deal, it kind of blew over here. And planted itself in my yard. Sadie, So like I said, the ice plant's not awake yet. Got some sunflowers, getting a little bit of height to them. These lilies have not opened yet, which I thought is interesting. I thought they would have opened by now, but that's how it goes. And there's a fun spider web happening. I don't know if the camera's picking that up. Kind of connecting all of them. So spiders doing their part. These daisies have opened up. And then this still, not to play favorites, but it's really hard not to. Oh, hello. Not to play favorites. This bush just is so interesting because it's peach and pink, and I've never seen a bush be so many multicolors. It's like this is a really good example right here. And it's on the same it's on the same stalk. So if I'd cut that, like there's a pink, there's a peach, and there's like a peach and yellow. So it's just so interesting how many colors are on this. And it's also got a lot of blooms, and it's got a lot of buds left, so it's kind of really going off. And then these little strawberries are growing in. There's a lot of little red strawberries in here, and there, and there. Yeah, so that's nice. Oh, extreme close. Hello. Extreme close-up of the cat. So yeah, strawberries are coming in. These that came from the St. Francis garden at some point because they're those little red guys. And let's check out this little round. So it has, these blue flowers that are little and interesting, and they're sort of like, something's happening. They sort of come up like at the end of the stalk. And then there's these other little dudes. I don't know what Sadie is hearing. Something. And these are those teeny, teeny, teeny little ones. Oh, can I get it to come in focus? Well, let's see if I go over here. They are so, so, so tiny. So these little blue flowers are the size, 4 of them together would probably be the size of my pinky nail. So I guess that's a quarter of a pinky nail is one of these. And then these are coming up. I don't know what they are. And then these little purple and yellow ones. Ooh. They're just interesting. I don't know what they're called. And I think it's great because some people are like emailing me or texting me and telling me like, oh, that's what this is. Oh, and speaking of that, I couldn't think of the word in the backyard that the honeysuckle is growing up, and that word is trellis. Jeremiah told me that. And that day was one of those days where it was like 100 degrees outside. And I'd been doing yard work and whatnot, and I felt perfectly stupid. So I don't know if anyone else, if they, are doing yard work all day, and if the sun just makes you stupid. It definitely makes me stupid. But I'm a pale-ass redhead, so I'm not really built for the sun. This rose, doing its thing. Yeah, a lot of these need deadheading. Ooh, the avatar plant's opening up. Cool. This plant ends up being such crazy colors, like a really intense purple and a really intense blue, and it reminds me of the colors in Avatar. And I don't know if y'all saw, but the new Avatar's coming out in December. So that's exciting. Been waiting forever for that movie. Although it kind of fucks me up, makes me sad, like the kind of principle of it, but humans versus nature is never a fun topic. But the dragon with its little flower. Okay, hi. And then these tomatoes. They're getting a little bit of size to them, so that's nice. And then the cucumbers. So they will need, some of them, like this one here, it's going to need a string to grow on very soon. Yeah. And then I guess I'll come over here. So the time that I planted around the rounds on the south side over there, it's this kind of time. And so it also grows these itty bitty flowers. And so, they're even smaller than those little blue flowers. So if you can imagine how big a thyme leaf is, maybe 10 of these little white flowers would fit on a thyme leaf. And I don't know if my camera's picking it up. Okay. Oop. Gotta make sure we have Sadie featured. All right. That is today's tour. I'll give you a little kind of pan from this side. All right, have a good day. See you next time.